The Galactic Military Academy's main courtyard fell silent as the Cravathi war beast prowled through the rows of assembled cadets. Its 6 legs moved with predatory grace, each footfall deliberate and measured. The creature stood nearly 3 meters tall at the shoulder, its obsidian scales gleaming under the twin suns of Arcturus Prime. Rows of crystalline teeth jutted from its maw, each one capable of shearing through starship hull plating. Commander Thexval, a veteran Cravathi officer whose scales bore the scars of countless campaigns, watched from the elevated platform. His secondary arms were crossed while his primary hands rested on the ceremonial blade at his hip. Beside him stood representatives from a dozen species, the cream of the galaxy's military elite, all gathered to witness the selection. "The war beast will choose," Thexval announced, his translator converting his hissing clicks into galactic standard. "As it has for 10,000 cycles. The one it selects will lead this cohort. The one it bonds with will command armies." In the front row, Cadet Xyloth of the Vryn Collective stood rigid, his 4 eyes unblinking. He had scored highest in tactical simulations. Behind him, Cadet Shakara's mandibles clicked nervously. She had bested everyone in combat trials. Further back, Cadet Renfold of the Polarian Union kept his breathing steady through his gill slits. Each of them had earned their place here through blood and excellence. And then there was Marcus Chen, standing in the 3rd row, trying very hard not to scratch the itch on his nose. The human was an anomaly at the Academy. His species had only joined the Galactic Coalition 3 standard years ago, barely enough time for the treaty ink to dry. Humans were considered pleasant enough, good with mathematics, decent diplomats, adequate engineers. But warriors? The galaxy remained skeptical. The war beast continued its inspection, stopping before Xyloth. The Vryn cadet's exoskeleton shimmered with confidence as the creature lowered its massive head, nostrils flaring as it took in his scent. Its pupils, 3 concentric rings of gold, dilated and contracted. Then it moved on. Marcus watched the process with fascination. The beast reminded him of something, though he couldn't quite place what. Its movements were too familiar, too. The war beast paused before Shakara. She stood tall, her blade arms extended in a gesture of respect. The creature's tongue, forked and lined with chemical receptors, flicked out, tasting the air around her. For a moment, everyone thought this was it. The Cravathi were insectoid species. Surely the beast would choose one of its creator's cousins. It moved on. Row by row, the war beast made its way through the assembled cadets. Some it barely acknowledged. Others received thorough inspections that left them trembling. With each rejection, the tension in the courtyard grew heavier. Commander Thexval's scales rippled with concern. In the Academy's history, the war beast had always chosen within the first 2 rows. These were the elite of the elite. Then the creature reached Marcus. The human maintained his attention, eyes forward, trying to remember everything he'd learned about Cravathi customs. Don't make direct eye contact. Don't show teeth. They'd interpret a smile as aggression. Don't. The war beast's hot breath washed over him, carrying scents of sulfur and ozone. Marcus felt its massive head nudging against his chest, nearly knocking him backward. Its scales scraped against his uniform as it circled him once, twice, 3 times. The chemical receptors on its tongue flickered rapidly across his face, his hands, his hair. Then something extraordinary happened. The war beast sat, not the crouch-ready to spring position it had maintained throughout the inspection. It sat fully, haunches on the ground, its tail curling around its legs. Its massive head tilted slightly and a sound emerged from its throat, a deep, rumbling vibration that made the courtyard stones tremble. "Impossible," Thexval breathed. The war beast's translator collar crackled to life, its AI attempting to interpret the creature's vocalizations and pheromone signals. Pack Alpha found. "This one leads. This one protects." The word protects was emphasized with another frequency, one that the translator struggled to render. The war beast leaned forward and pressed its snout against Marcus's palm. That's when Marcus understood. The movement, the behavior, the sitting. It was exactly what his family's German shepherd used to do when his father came home from deployment. The recognition in those alien eyes wasn't just selection. It was something older, something primal that transcended species. The beast saw a packmate, a leader. "Cadet Chen." Commander Thexval's voice cut through the stunned silence. "Step forward." Marcus moved, and the war beast rose with him, matching his pace exactly. As they approached the platform, he could hear the whispers rippling through the crowd. Shock. Disbelief. The war beasts of Cravath had been bonding with warriors for millennia, their selections shaping the course of galactic history. Never had they chosen so quickly. Never had they shown such immediate deference. "This is unprecedented," Thexval said, his translator barely concealing his amazement. "The war beast responds to something in you, human. Something our sensors cannot measure, that our tests cannot quantify." Marcus looked up at the massive creature beside him, then back at the commander. A memory surfaced, his grandfather's words from a lifetime ago back on Earth. "We didn't domesticate dogs, boy. They chose us. They saw something in us worth following, and we've been partners ever since." Maybe that was humanity's secret. Maybe that was what made them dangerous, what the galaxy hadn't yet understood. Humans didn't just form alliances or sign treaties. They made pacts. They inspired loyalty not through dominance or fear, but through something older and deeper. The promise that they would protect those who followed them, that they would lead from the front, that no pack member would be left behind. The war beast pressed against Marcus's side, and he reached up to scratch behind the ridge of armor plating on its neck. The rumbling purr intensified. "Pack Alpha found," the translator repeated. In the audience, Cadet Xyloth felt his certainty crumble. Cadet Shakara's mandibles spread in what might have been a smile, and Cadet Renfold found himself wondering what other surprises humanity might hold. Commander Thexval looked at the human cadet and the war beast standing together, and for the first time in his long career, he felt something that might have been hope. "Cohort," he announced, "I present your leader. Follow him well." Marcus Chen, who 6 months ago had been fixing satellites in Earth orbit, stood in the courtyard of an alien military academy with a war beast at his side, and realized his life had just changed forever. The pack had found its alpha, and the galaxy would never be the same.